Right, we've got Stephen from Vanguard back again to answer one of the questions that we're going to put to you. You can ask a question if
I
you
can
want.
ask you some questions if you want, Rich, instead this time.
I don't think I'll be much use.
Okay.
But tell you what, we'll stick with the original plan.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be asking you a question. Are you ready for some questions? Or just a question?
I'm ready.
Cool. All right, let's ask. Cool. Right, okay, so next question we've got from Ben, and he is asking about building lists. So when putting a list together, what tips should you follow? Is there a particular sort of structure you should follow when building your army?
Okay, cool. This is a really, really good question. And this is something I go into literally about 3 to 4 hours worth of detail on my mentorship program. So it is a really good question and one that I'll kind of summarize for you, but we can break this down a lot more. And I also did a really good interview on my channel about that as well. But
if you're interested in that mentorship program, by the way, where you can watch videos like these in detail, check the description down below and I'll pop a link across that for you in there.
Thanks. Yeah. So basically, in short, when you're putting your list together, you've got either 1750 or 2000 points are typically the most competitive point builds. Okay. Now you want to make sure in an army you've got, most armies rely on their stratagems.
Right.
Okay, and that really brings the power into the list, the stratagems. So you want to make sure you've got enough command points in your list to use your army.
So what gives command points?
So depending on how you build out your army, so for example, 2 HQ options, like a chaplain and a captain. Let's use Space Marines, for example.
What are you playing at the moment in your last
so
games?
I'm playing Ultramarines at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say Manius Calgar, Chief Librarian Tigerius, they're both captains, or both HQ, should I say. Then if I've got some intercessors like these troops guys, and I've got 3 units of these, so I've got 3 of these and 2 captains, I get 5 command points.
Okay.
Now Calgar, he's a boss. If you take him and he's your warlord, you get an extra 2.
Okay.
Nice little build. Now, if your whole army's battle forged and basically your legal army, you get another 3.
Okay.
So already I'm up to 10.
So if it's a legal army,
yep, you get 3 for free. That's kind of like your baseline. You get 3 for free. Then normally what will happen is that's called a battalion. You get another 5 points for that. And there's other detachments you can take.
So define a legal army for those who don't necessarily know.
Yeah. So a legal army is everyone that shares 2 or more of the same keywords.
Right.
So on the data sheet there'll be a keyword.
Yeah.
Okay. Now these guys will have the Adeptus. Well, they'll have Imperium.
So this is like putting Primaris Marines with Primaris Marines sort of thing.
Not even to that level. That's a real detailed level, which you don't need to quite go to.
Okay.
So you've got Imperium, which means the good guys. You can argue that if you want, but anyway, Imperium, to me, they're the good guys. Yeah. And then they've got Adeptus Astartes.
Right.
So Imperial Guard, for example, like the humans, they have the Imperium, which means they can go in a detachment with Space Marines who have a different keyword.
Right. So
but because they share a keyword to be in the same army together.
But did you say they share 2 keywords?
Oh, sorry, to put them in the same detachment, yeah.
To get the legal.
No, to be legal, they just have to share the keyword Imperium.
So just that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Providing they're in different detachments.
Right. But then, okay, I follow you now. Yeah.
So you can't have an Imperial Guardsman, captain, or commander, in a Space Marine detachment.
Right.
So you've got your army, then you've got your detachments underneath it. Does that make sense?
They'd fight with them, but not with them.
Exactly. They don't buff each other and stuff like that, normally. So anyway, you want enough command points to fuel your army. Okay. All right? So that's an option. And what you want to do is go through your book and decide the stratagems that you want to kind of use in that game. You're not going to be able to use them all, so pick the ones that you want to build around, that you think are most powerful to your play style. And that's the other thing, make sure you are picking a list that you're going to enjoy. Yeah. That's going to be really, really important. And then what you're going to do is once you've got your HQs, your troops, and you've got your battalion in there or whatever it is you want, you can then add in basically the flavour. All right, and that flavour really wants to then determine how you're going to play that list. Is it going to be really good at killing tanks? Right. Is it going to be really good at killing horde? Is it going to be a horde of models itself? Is it going to be an elite army? Is it going to be able to do everything? Or is the army going to be really balanced where it can take on everyone? Yeah. And if you go into a tournament, you kind of want an army that can handle everything. Yeah. Okay. that just means that no matter who you play on the other side of the table, you've got a chance, all right?
So you're more of a fan of a rounded, or do you tend to...
I like a really well-rounded army.
Okay.
I want a well-rounded army that, in what I normally say is, let's say you put 1,500 points aside to be your core of your army, and then you've got 500 points to basically be able to handle anything the 1,500 isn't very good at.
Right.
So let's take my Ultramarines, for example. I've got loads of shots. I'm really good at killing orcs, demons, anything with lots of models that aren't very valuable.
Yeah.
I'm really good at clearing all away. I'm not very good at killing knights.
Yeah.
So what I've got in my list is about 500 points worth of knight killing ability. So I can handle both things. But if I play against a knight player, I'm going to have to really play well.
Yeah, because it's not your special.
Because it's not my army build.
Yeah.
All right. And again, when you're playing in competitive play, you want to look at the meta. In the meta is kind of what we're going to see a lot of.
Right.
Army build wise. So demons are really popular at the moment. Orcs, genie stealer cults.
Yeah.
There's lots of horde with marines coming out. That's going to change things a little bit. So the meta's always shifting, and a good player is able to read that and understand the army that's going to do well against more what you're going to face more than likely.
Okay, so your list building is primarily a flexible chunk with specialised wings or specialised wing.
Yeah, exactly.
To go with it. And the main place that you're really focusing on are your command points.
Your command points, and then also, if you want to maximise the use of the command points, you want to take the biggest squad size possible. So let's say you've got a stratagem that allows you to re-roll all wounds on a unit.
Right, large unit.
The larger the unit, the more leverage you're going to get out of that stratagem. Okay. So that's something to bear in mind, is when you take a unit, I always think go big or go home. Little units don't tend to do very well because they give away a lot of kills and certain things in the mission that you're playing. So there's loads of tactical things, like as we mentioned, I do a masterclass completely for free on the ITC.
Yes, you did.
And the ITC have in their rules, your opponent, you can pick your own tactical objectives against me, or they're called secondary objectives.
Okay.
And depending on what my army's got, it makes it much easier for you to pick them. So I can actually look at the mission pack and make those decisions really hard for you. Right. So when we're at the table, you're like, oh, what shall I kill? I'm not sure. And as soon as I'm getting you to start thinking about what you should and shouldn't do, my list is doing its job.
Right.
Yeah? So you want a list that's quick, that can get to objectives, as well as to be able to handle big things, as well as little, lots of hordes. So you want a good, well-rounded list, and make sure you're using your stratagems, any warlord traits, any relics, psychic powers to your advantage to fuel that 1,500 point core, and then you've got your 500 points of other add-ons. And if you feel like your list isn't working, only tweak small bits. Take out 250 points, put in something different, test it, see how it looks.
So I'm guessing really specialised teams tend to not go very far, because the second they come up against
a hard counter, they'll crumble. But in a tournament when you're playing 5 games, you might be really lucky and play the ones that you're really good at every single time, and you could go and win the event.
There's enough luck in it already. You need skill. Right?
Oh yeah.
You don't want to rely on luck.
The list is only one thing. The player really makes the list. So hopefully that's given you some ideas. Like I said, I've only touched on a few things, but it's so involved. And one of those, list writing in itself is a skill. Okay,
so final thing then with that is, what do you physically need to write the best list? You need to be up to date, right?
You need, number one, you need to know the mission that you're writing the list for.
Yep.
That's really important, to actually read the mission pack.
Yep.
Okay, and if you're just playing at your local club with chapter approved missions, read them.
So you need to know what you're you're not just going for a heads up battle.
Yeah.
Because I suppose that's probably going to be quite common. This force would kick another force's ass.
Yep.
There's objectives, right?
The game isn't just about destroying your opponent.
Yeah.
The game is more about playing the mission. There's some matchups, like I said, I can't kill. So I don't try. I just hide, skirt around the edges, score the objectives.
Yeah.
Wrap in, tag things up.
Yeah.
I don't even need to kill anything necessarily.
Yeah.
I can just make sure I play the mission. So number one, read the mission pack. Okay. Number two, be familiar with all of your units that are in your codex.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also make sure that you're building using your stratagems, your warlord trait, your chapter abilities to basically maximize the potential. So if you've got things like the data cards are great.
Yeah.
So when you're playing, you know exactly what stratagems you're going to use. And obviously any supplement books are great, whether that's, formations that we've seen in things like Vigilus Defiant. There are other ways to really power up your army. So having good knowledge of that. And the other thing not to get caught out on, because of GW are constantly FAQing and updating everything, make sure you're reading your FAQ. The amount of times I see something and they'll go, for example, I'll be playing against somebody and they didn't realise that a unit had a different keyword, which is really important because they didn't read the FAQ. Because it's not in their book. So make sure you're up to date with the main army book and also your FAQs, and then you're going to be in a really good place.
Okay. It's hard work being competitive.
Yeah, if
rewarding.
If it was easy, then everyone would be good at it, right?
Maybe by the end of our series of questions, I might be half good.
Well, I mean, go steady, Rich. Go steady, eh?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Anyway, thanks very much, mate. Again,
no worries.
If you want to follow any of Stephen's stuff, just check the links below, and you can check out the videos, weekly videos from Vanguard.
Yeah, weekly videos
or more.
Whether it's chat shows, battle reports, we do a lot.
And you're on a lot of podcasts. You do a lot of other talks.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Well, thanks for coming in again.
Thanks so much, Rich.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.